On their third group visit to Somalia's federal member state, FMS representatives from some of the country's main partners today emphasized the need for Somali leaders to remain in dialogue with one another, as well as to continue in the spirit of consensus, which has recently seen progress on preparation for national elections.
We continue to urge all of Somalia's leaders to remain steadfast in their commitment to collaborating with each other as the electoral preparations progress.
The United Nations official was speaking at a joint media encounter with Puntland's President Said Abdullahi Deni, with whom he and the special representatives of the chairperson of the African Union AU Commission, Ambassador Francisco Medera, the European Union EU Ambassador to Somalia, Nicholas Balanga, and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development IGAD, IGAD's head of mission for Somalia, Jamal Ahmed Ibrahim, had just met. The visit today to Puntland was the third group visit to an FMS by AU, EU, IGAD and UN representatives in the past 2 months. It follows on from visits to Southwest States and Gamudug, with visits to the remaining FMS, Jubaland and Hirshabelle planned in the near future. In his media remarks made on behalf of the visiting delegation, the UN Deputy Special Representative said the importance of strengthening relations between the federal government of Somalia and the FMS had been discussed in the meeting with President Deni. He noted that the international partners had been encouraged by the revitalization of dialogue between the federal government and the FMS in recent months and highlighted President Deni's active role in them.
The dialogue and spirit of consensus which yielded these agreements needs to continue in order to ensure that the national elections remain on track and are anchored in transparency, fairness, and inclusivity. We wish to emphasize that the agreed electoral model should not be reopened, but has to be implemented in an acceptable, credible, and transparent manner.
Somali's federal and FMS leaders began a series of meetings in Dushamareb and the capital of Galmudug in July and August, which led to consultative meetings in Mogadishu in September and October, and at which agreements on the national electoral model were reached. While highlighting the benefit of regular dialogue as beneficial to resolving any outstanding issues, the United Nations officials also stressed the need for the electoral agreement to remain in place as had been decided. He also expressed the delegation's hope that all the Somalis FMS and their regional assemblies will begin preparations for the elections of the members of the upper house of the federal parliament as per the number of seats allocated to them. Turning specifically to Puntland, the United Nations Deputy Special Representative said that the AU, EU, IGAD and UN hope the FMS will soon nominate the 8 members of its own electoral committee, as well as engage the federal government to reach agreement regarding the country's provisional federal constitution.